بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والسماء ذات البروج واليوم الموعود وشاهد ومشهود قتل أصحاب الأخدود النار ذات الوقود إذ هم عليها قعود وهم على ما يفعلون بالمؤمنين شهود وما نقموا منهم إلا أن يؤمنوا بالله العزيز الحميد الذي له ملك السماوات والأرض والله على كل شيء شهيد إن الذين فتنوا المؤمنين والمؤمنات ثم لم يتوبوا فلهم عذاب جهنم ولهم عذاب الحريق إن الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات لهم جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار ذلك الفوز الكبير إن بطش ربك لشديد إنه هو يبدئ ويعيد وهو الغفور الودود ذو العرش المجيد فعال لما يريد هل أتاك حديث الجنود فرعون وثمود بل الذين كفروا في تكذيب والله من ورائهم محيط بل هو قرآن مجيد في لوح محفوظ.
In the companions of the trench, the story is the story of a king who was a tyrant who refused to allow his people to believe in Allah Azza wa Jal. And they made a ditch or a trench. I read you the story, it's in the footnotes. It's a long story. The story is narrated in Saheeh Muslim. The Messenger of Allah said, among the people before you there was a king and he had a sorcerer. When the sorcerer became old, he said to the king, I have now become an old man, get me a boy so that I may teach him sorcery. So the king sent him a boy to teach him sorcery. Whenever the boy proceeded to the sorcerer, he sat with a monk who was on the way and listened to his talks and used to admire them. So when he went to the sorcerer, he passed by the monk and sat there with him. And on visiting the sorcerer, the latter thrashed him. So the boy complained about that to the monk. The monk said to him, whenever you are afraid of the sorcerer, say to him, my people kept me busy. And whenever you're afraid of your people, say to them, the sorcerer kept me busy. So the boy carried on like that for a period. Then there came on the road a huge creature, and the people were unable to pass by. The boy said, today I will know whether the sorcerer is better or the monk. So he took a stone and said, O Allah, if the deeds and actions of the monk are liked by you better than those of the sorcerer, then kill this creature so the people can cross the road. Then he hit it with the stone and it was killed and the people passed the road. The boy came to the monk and informed me about it. The monk said to him, O my son, today you are better than I. You have achieved what I see, and you will be put to trial. And in case you are put to trial, do not tell them about me. The boy used to treat the people suffering from blindness and leprosy and other diseases. A blind courtier of the king heard about the boy. He came and brought a number of gifts for the boy and said, all of these gifts are for you on the condition that you cure me. The boy said, I do not cure anybody. It is only Allah who cures people. So if you believe in Allah and make dua to Allah, He will cure you. Then he believed in Allah and Allah cured him. Later, that man came to the king and sat at the place where he used to sit before. The king asked him, who has given you your sight back? The man replied, my Lord, Allah. The king said, have you got a Lord other than me? The man said, my Lord and your Lord is Allah. The king got hold of him and kept on tormenting him until he informed him about the boy. So the boy was brought. The king said to the boy, O boy, has your knowledge of sorcery reached to the extent that you can cure those who are born blind and the lepers and so on, and do such and such? The boy said, I do not cure anyone. It is only Allah who cures. Then the king got hold of him and kept on tormenting him till he informed him about the monk. The monk was brought and it was said to him, give up your religion. The monk refused to turn to an apostate. Then the king ordered to bring a saw, and it was put in the middle of his scalp, and it was sawn until he fell, cut into 2 pieces. Then the man was brought and it was said to him, give up your religion. The man refused to do so. So the saw was put in the middle of his scalp and he was sawn in 2 until he fell. Then the boy was brought and it was said to him, give up your religion. The boy refused to turn apostate. So the king ordered some of his men to take the boy to such and such a mountain, saying, ascend with the mountain with him till you reach the top and see if he turns away from his religion. Otherwise, throw him down from the top. They took him up the mountain and the boy said, O Allah, save me from them by anything you wish. So the mountain shook and all of them fell down, and the boy came walking to the king. The king asked him, what did your companions do? The boy said, Allah has saved me from them. The king then ordered some of his men to take the boy on board a boat to the middle of the sea, saying, if he turns away from his religion, well and good, otherwise cast him into the sea. So they took him and he said, O Allah, save me from them by anything you wish. So the boat capsized and all of the men were drowned. Then the boy came walking to the king. The king said, what did your companions do? The boy said, Allah save me from them. And he said to the king, you cannot kill me till you do what I command. The king said, what is that? The boy said, gather the people in an upland place and fasten me to the stem of a tree. Then take an arrow from my quiver and fix it in the bow and say, in the name of Allah, the Lord of the boy, and shoot me. If you do that, you will kill me. So the king gathered the people in a place and fastened the boy to the stem and took an arrow from his quiver and fixed it in the bow and said, in the name of Allah, Lord of the boy, and shot the arrow. Then the arrow hit the skull of the boy, and the boy put his hand over the skull at the point where the arrow hit, and he died. The people proclaimed, we believe in the Lord of the boy, we believe in the Lord of the boy, we believe in the Lord of the boy. The king came and it was said to him, that is the thing which you are afraid of. By Allah, the thing which you are afraid of has fallen upon you. The people have believed in Allah. So he ordered deep trenches to be dug at the entrance of the roads, and it was done. Then the fire was kindled in those ditches, and the king ordered that whoever did not turn away from that religion be thrown into the ditches, and it was done. Then there came a woman with her baby. She nearly retreated back from the ditch, but the baby spoke and said, O mother, be patient. You are upon the truth. So she threw herself in the ditch of the fire along with her child to be from the martyrs in paradise. This is the story that most of them said is قُتِلَ أَصْحَابُ الْأُخْدُودِ. They are the people who dug the ditch and kindled the fire for the king.
By the sky containing great stars.
Wallahi, Al-Buruj can be the great stars or it can be the constellations, is more apparent. The sky full of constellations and the groups of the stars all together. The surah is also Makkiyah.
And by the promised day.
The day of judgment.
And by the witness and what is witnessed.
So the witness can be anyone that is a witness on that day. Allah is a witness. The angels are a witness. The believers are a witness. The prophets are a witness. And that which is witness, which they witness over. This is something which is very significant and it's huge in the sight of Allah. Those that will bear witness and what they bear witness to. It's also said, وَشَاهِدٍ وَمَشْهُودٍ is that shahid is Yawm al-Jumu'ah and al-Mashhud is Yawm Arafah.
Destroyed were the companions of the trench, containing the fire full of fuel, when they were sitting near it, and they to what they were doing against the believers were witnesses.
Yani they threw them into the trench and watched them burn to death. This is before the time of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
And they resented them not except because they believed in Allah, the exalted in might, the praiseworthy.
Yeah. That's why the only reason they hated those people is because they believed in Allah.
To whom belongs the dominion of the heavens and the earth, and Allah over all things is witness. Indeed, those who have tortured the believing men and believing women and then have not repented will have the punishment of hell, and they will have the punishment of the burning fire.
To remember, in the time of the Prophet ﷺ and the Sahaba in Mecca, the Sahaba were being tortured. For the ayat came to settle their hearts, that you are being tortured, but there were people before you who were cut in half with a sword and they never left their religion, and they were thrown into a burning fire and they never left their religion.
Indeed, those who have believed and done righteous deeds will have gardens beneath which rivers flow. That is the great attainment. Indeed, the assault of your Lord is severe.
The vengeance or the destruction that he puts upon people is severe.
Indeed, it is he who originates creation and repeats.
He brought creation the first time and he will bring it back to life the second time. It's also said, إِنَّهُ هُوَ يُبْدِعُ وَيُعِيدُ refers to the one who begins punishment and then repeats that punishment in the hereafter.
And he is the forgiving, the affectionate.
Al-Wadud is a name of Allah Azza wa Jal, which is that Allah is the one that is loved and Allah loves His believing servants. It works both ways. The name Al-Wadud.
Honorable owner of the throne, effector of what he intends.
Maybe if they said doer, it would be easier to understand. And He's the one who does what He wants.
Has there reached you the story of the soldiers, Fir'aun and Thamud?
The soldiers of Fir'aun and Thamud.
But they who disbelieve are in persistent denial, while Allah encompasses them from behind.
From all sides. I'll read what As-Sa'di said about it. Muhit, ay qad ahata bihim ilman wa qudrah. He has surrounded them with His knowledge and power.
But this is an honored Qur'an, inscribed in a preserved slate.
In the Lawh al-Mahfuz, preserved tablet.